let's move on to this story here, man. Andor is happening, Sean, very, very soon. I'm sure both of our channels are revving up their engines for this one. But Disney wraps up the first season of Daredevil Born Again next week. By the way, that episode last night was a banger. After that, it will be jumping directly into the second and final season of Tony Gilroy's acclaimed Star Wars series, Andor, reminding everyone about the new run's compressed release plan. The show's official social media account has released a graphic showcasing when episodes will air. The new season consists of 12 episodes comprised of 4 3-episode arcs. We knew that, with each arc set to see a time jump between them of around a year. The result is essentially 4 feature-length movies with a week gap between them. The first airs on April 22nd, followed by the second on April 29th, and the third on May 6th, and the fourth on May 13th. Speaking with Empire recently to promote the series, showrunner Tony Gilroy says the cast and crew had, quote, ultimate freedom making the show thanks to key executives, the success of other Star Wars shows, and the audience all standing up for them. He said, quote, we were protected all the way down the line. Kathy Kennedy protected us. Lucasfilm protected us. Bob Iger protected us. The audience protected us. The Mandalorian protected us. We had all these people out there, fictional and real, backing our play. The success of The Mandalorian gave us the platform to jump off. Their success is what would fuel the whole thing. I mean, no Baby Yoda, no Andor. Seriously, don't think that we don't know that. Online, people try to drive a wedge all the time between us and Jon Favreau and Filoni. It's horrible what people say. It's terrible. And the truth is, we don't have a show without them. They gave us the muscle to go. Fascinating to see his comments here, Sean. And I'll add something more to it in just a second. So what do you think about these comments? What do you think about what we got here from Andor? What are your thoughts overall on this?
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people, I loved Andor. It was just something so different in the world of Star Wars, but it felt like it was exploring the piece that we hadn't really explored in that manner, the actual espionage that would be required to exist for the rebellion to take place.
Yeah.
They look at, we're doing the release schedule. I've actually wanted to have more streamers experiment with kind of this hybrid model of releasing in chunks. And this is a show that complements the way the show is written.
Yeah.
As they said in the article, basically each week we're going to get a Star Wars movie every week for a month, where each 3 episodes is its own little mini arc. That's the way the first season was designed too. So it makes sense that it doesn't feel like we're stretching it out too much, but we're getting like this significant Star Wars burst for each week for a month. I like that. Or I guess I'll see if I like that. Well, I like doing the experiment. Let's see how it plays out. But I'm excited to see how that works out. And it like a prequel done right, and a prequel that our knowledge of the future, our knowledge of where all of this is heading, adds to it rather than spoiling it. You're piecing it together in a way that's like really interesting. Yeah. So I can't wait to check it out. And, you know, as we kind of even talked about earlier on here, there's this tendency to turn everything into a fight, polarize everything, and everyone has to be at odds, and there's a battle everywhere. And you go, you know, maybe we're a little bit too bored in our lives and we're trying to fabricate some drama where it doesn't exist. And in the world of Star Wars, they went like, we've got our cute little baby Yoda that my 6-year-old has 1,000 little baby Yodas in her room. She doesn't understand Star Wars, but she understands cute guy. And then we've got Andor that's like this sophisticated, thematically rich version of Star Wars. Both of those can coexist. Yeah. And that's awesome. That's once again the advantage of the era that we're in. Maybe there's, of course, setbacks. Maybe there's oversaturation. There's other things to discuss. But it's also cool that they can make something that my 6-year-old that does not understand anything about Star Wars, it's her on-ramp. That's making her want to be engaged with this thing that means so much to me. And there's the most mature, serious Star Wars that we've ever gotten that's for me.
Yeah, 100%. I'm in the same boat. My lady does not watch too much nerdy or geeky stuff, but Mandalorian with Baby Yoda, she watched all those episodes because of Baby Yoda. She enjoyed that kind of stuff. And Andor is spoke my language, you know, being Latino, being the son of immigrants, this idea of the approach they were having here with that story of the revolution, going against people trying to take over things. And so that kind of really appealed to me. But of course, that's universal, right? We all can experience some entity wanting to control us, wanting to force us to do things, and then kind of going along with our lives until something happens that makes us react and start to play a hand in this overall battle. I think a lot of people have been having that conversation with themselves over the last few months with everything that's going on in the world, no matter what side of the fence you are on, which is interesting. But what do you think of his comments, Tony Gilroy's comments here, trying to undercut or trying to throw water on a lot of the fire that there's division between Tony Gilroy and Filoni and Favreau? Certainly, we've talked about it on this show. I've talked about it on my show. I don't know if you've talked about it on yours too deeply about whether there is this idea that Filoni doesn't like Andor and that's why they're rushing all of this out at once. And so it seems like Gilroy's trying to put to rest all those rumors and saying that everybody's on board with us. Everybody likes what we were creating and they supported us. What do you think of his comments here?
Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit tough to know with all of it because they're writers, producers, actors. They all lie from time to time. They're all trying to promote their product, and so the division doesn't help them at all.
Right.
So how much of it is sincere? But like he's so confident in just squashing all of it, and he's so we love them, they love us. Like why would we have issues? Like why? Like, he says it with such confidence. It's tough to read it as if you're just making an empty statement. You don't normally say it that way.
Yeah.
And, also, this is a guy that there are podcasts of him being as blunt as possible. Like this is a guy that doesn't seem like you better say what we want. He's not that guy. And after he said stuff that was not favorable, they still hired him to do Andor.
Yeah.
So he's the sort of person that you take a little bit more as if he says that, he's like, what are you guys talking about? Why would they be mad at me? Like, because I've seen him be mean and say very uncomfortable things, you trust him when he says something positive.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah. One other thing I want to bring up connected to this story and get your thoughts on this, Sean, is this. They released, or this is the rumored runtimes here from Bespin Bulletin. I know we're using another count here, but these are the runtimes: 51 minutes, 44 minutes, rumored runtimes, 53 minutes, 54, 54, 54, 44, 47, 58, 48, 42, 46. This is amazing. These runtimes. This is, I mean, you talk about trying to review stuff on a channel, 3 episodes that are like 50 minutes or 45 minutes. That's a lot of reviewing per week. What are your thoughts when you see these runtimes? Does it excite you as a fan? But then on the other side, are you like thinking, God, reviewing this is going to be extensive?
Well, so there's the side to it that a number of these Star Wars and Marvel Disney Plus shows for a while got criticized because they were just too short, and it felt like they're 40 minutes and then 10 minutes of credits, and so it just felt like it was too small of a taste and not enough happened. Yeah. And so you see them getting more at 45, 50 minutes. You go, right, these are full episodes of television again. Yeah. And you want them to be that. And so my first thought is, okay, we're not doing the bite-sized thing that I don't think worked the best, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Flip side to it, I've been playing that out in my mind too, of like Tuesday night, 2.5 hours of Star Wars drop and you wonder, like, is that going to be too much? Because there's a side to it. You go, cool, a Star Wars movie drops every Tuesday night. Right. And then you go, wait a minute, every Tuesday night, I'm scheduled for a month. There's so many different ways to analyze all these different things with these different models where they do it. But, you think with Netflix got us used to the binge model where a full season would drop and you'd be like, I got to watch this whole season right now. Yeah. And this at least breaks that up. And so we're doing, 3 hours every week. Yeah. It's a lot. And even trying to think like, how do you do those weekly reviews when it's like, okay, I got to watch all of this and figure out what am I going to review? How am I going to break? Am I going to do as one chunk? You think through all of that stuff, but I'm
on your camp. The fact that these runtimes, if these are the actual runtimes, because it's still rumored from Bespin Bulletin, if these are the rumored runtimes, this shows you the level of seriousness they take this show at. This is House of the Dragon runtimes. These are Game of Thrones runtimes. These are like premiere TV runtimes for shows like this. We just had Severance. I think every episode of Severance is almost an hour. So that tells you that their approach to this is much more prestige versus something like The Acolyte or even Mandalorian at times, which was only 30 to 35 or 40 minutes. Like this tells you that they are seriously diving into lobbying for awards for this show. Even though they came close last time, there may be even more of a push this time around, especially with the release schedule.
Right. And, going back to that same language that we've been using all along of, legitimately, these are 2.5 hour long Star Wars movies dropping every week. Yeah. And espionage shows, heist shows, Just get like the thought, like we've had to wait a long time, and it's made me wonder, like, why didn't you just do half of these a year ago and half of them now, or like,
oh, interesting.
If you're gonna have a time jump in the middle of it, I thought, like, why didn't you just split it up into two batches?
Right.
But also being like, it's finally time, and you're delivering a lot of, fingers crossed, prestige Star Wars. A prestige Star Wars movie every week for a month. That's cool.
We're going to be wrung out emotional wrecks after the end of Andor and The Last of Us. Like these next 2 months are going to rip us up emotionally, I think. I have a feeling. And they just announced season 3 of The Last of Us, I saw this morning. So we're not even done with that story beyond the video games, it seems like. So that's going to be real exciting as well.